Once I caught a fish alive, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I threw him.
What we're innovating for in Africa and in Kenya is to connect families. It is, sending money to your grandmother. It is water solutions. And that is why there's more meaningful innovation coming out of the continent. The potential is great in Kenya. The potential is great in Africa. Your Excellency, in 1950, the population of Europe was 22% of the world, and that of Africa was 7%. In 2050, which is just 25 years from now, after the end of this year, Africa will have 25% of the global population. 1 out of 4 people will be in Africa, and they'll be in cities. And the population of Europe will be 7%. What does that tell us? We have an extraordinary opportunity to get right what they didn't get right, but also to use the new generation, the young people. Our median age is 19, Your Excellency. We have grappled with how to sort out issues. We've had unemployment, disillusionment. I dare say that the biggest challenge to our security is not terrorism or Al-Shabaab. It is millions of young, disillusioned, disengaged young people with ideas, but nowhere to take those ideas, and they're jobless out there. So it's an extraordinary opportunity that we must take advantage of. Indeed, it is our greatest resource. Now, in the ancient past, I was a legislator with Senator Minister Kipchumba Murkomen. And there are 2 pieces of legislation I am proud of. One went through, one didn't go through. The first one which went through, that was actually the second one, because the first was when we did 30% procurement. But the second one was the National Employment Authority, which we set up. It's thinking more than just doing labor migration, Your Excellency. If you look at the constitution of the board of the National Employment Authority, which we sponsored in 2 parliaments ago, it was to bring the people you have in this room together. In the board, you have employers, you have manufacturers, you have academicians, you have the universities together, the technical colleges together, and we deploy technology to let us know these are the number of young people out there without jobs. Then this is what they're studying, and then this is what the market needs. That mismatch of skills is our ticking time bomb. In many respects, all we're doing in our schools is postponing unemployment of young people by 4, by 5 years, if you don't match it with what the market needs. But secondly, Your Excellency, the one which I'm proud of by half was the startup bill. I'm proud of it by half because we didn't conclude it. We started it, there was immense public participation. We involved the tech ecosystem locally and internationally. We benchmarked with countries that have done it before. We called the biggest startups we had at that time in Kenya, the Cellulants, the Twiggers, those that are about to become unicorns, and asked them, if you're to start again, what kind of support would you require from government to help you scale? We had to define what we call a startup, because if I just start frying eggs out here, it's not a startup. But we had to define it as rapidly scalable, tech-driven, technology-driven businesses that have the ability to capture a large, a big base of employment. It passed in the Senate that time. We really wanted to de-risk investors, these venture capitalists, and many keep streaming. Your Excellency, the other time we were with Kaufman Fellows. Many of them keep streaming into Kenya because they see the potential of our young people. There is no amount. It is good to have a fund in government, but there's no amount of money that can be budgeted through our appropriation that can fund startups more than what venture capitalists can do if we de-risk the investment and say, if this percentage of your investment can be recouped if in the first 3, 4, 5 years the company you target doesn't make it. And that was really the aim. So I hope, and my good friend Mheshimiwa Alice, and of course our CEO, that we can take it up. We started it, Your Excellency, you were directed that time under MSMEs so that we can connect them for us to move on with that legislation. If you've seen $473 million, I think, we've attracted in funding, ask yourself why, and where is the limitation? We cannot reinvent the wheel. The countries that have made it because of experimenting. We've seen very many beautiful innovations there, Your Excellency. And you kept asking the same question. How do we take it up? How do we scale it up? The countries that made it in the Industrial Revolution did not perfect before they produced. They produced and perfected while producing. We must move all these ideas into production and have practical experience as we fix the wings as we fly, Your Excellency. Finally, what we intended to do, which I think is a very novel idea that the government should think about, Your Excellency, is to set up a virtual special economic zone for these scalable startups that you define from wherever they are. If they meet the threshold, that then they can create this kind of employment, they can be able to grow once supported, and once they attract that funding, you cannot put them in a physical economic zone. The day of physical economic zone is waning, it's coming to a close. But there's a young person in his bedroom in Thika with a great innovation. There's another boy in Mukuru. There's somebody in Eldoret. A virtual SEZ, Your Excellency, will rapidly change this ecosystem for the benefit of technology. So just allow me to congratulate Waziri Murkomen and the team in the ministry. We're very happy. I think since you got into the ministry, we've seen the energy and the vibrance. I don't know whether it is because you're a former senator or because you're young, but one of the two. You're doing an amazing job in that space. Please count on us. I think the connection that is left is with the county governments. A lot of the innovations you've showcased there were the customers. You've shown us solutions in our markets, which we're solarizing. If you can help our mothers and sisters and men be able to use that for clean cooking. I've seen an innovation on a boiler that is driven by solar. Today, Your Excellency, the young people of Nairobi are very happy through the innovation. This technology, NFC device, tapped to it, is feeding 316,000 children every day in our primary schools in Nairobi. That is technology that is homegrown, home-built, and practical. So let's move to that level together. Your Excellency, without further ado, and I'm very proud as the governor of Nairobi, the capital of Africa's Silicon Savannah, to host this Innovation Week. Congratulations to Waziri, and it's my great honor and pleasure to welcome my brother Murkomen to address us. Karibu sana. Let's clap for him as he comes on stage.
Your Excellency, President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the President and the Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, my friend Governor Johnson Sakaja, our PS, and all the government officials represented here, the CEO of the Innovation Agency, our chair of the committee in Parliament, Honorable Alice Nganga, and distinguished exhibitors, innovators who are in this very venue. Good morning. Good morning once again. Your Excellency, we want to thank you for gracing this occasion. This is not your first time. Your presence last year, as I was properly briefed in the ministry, inspired both the ministry and the agency and also the innovators to look up to this very important Innovation Week. And therefore, having you here is a great pleasure for us, especially because we know your schedule is very busy. It's also a commitment of your, it's a measure of your commitment towards young people and the desire to make sure that we have greater innovation in our country. As a matter of fact, Your Excellency, this function was only possible because of your policy, that you made it clear that the sports fund is going to be directed to focus on sports, but also on matters that are related to youth and youth empowerment and social empowerment of our youth. And as a result, Your Excellency, we have partnered with the Innovation Agency to make sure that this day is a success. Your Excellency, the work which was done last year had the benefit of meeting the exhibitors who won the challenge, the presidential challenge last year. And they are providing solutions in very important areas of agriculture, equality, trying to foster equality by making sure that differently enabled Kenyans are able to get opportunity to participate in national development and to do their daily duties by being assisted using the modern technology. Your Excellency, we all know that tangible property is limited, but intangible property, and in this case intellectual property, is unlimited. And we also know that, like Honorable Sakaja said, the same brain that somebody has in San Francisco is the same brain that a Kenyan has here. What they only need is an opportunity, is to be harnessed, is to be assisted. If you remember, Your Excellency, those of us who went through Science Congress in high school, you know that many young people every year in this country are coming up with different ideas across the country. We also know in the university there are so many young people who are involved in thinking and creating new ideas. Unfortunately, most of these ideas are gathering dust in different libraries in the universities and research offices. And Your Excellency, Innovation Agency is the catalyst. It is the institution that is going to be able to move this research and innovations from shelves, from gathering dust, to actually creating jobs and creating wealth for our country. And if we remind ourselves here, some of the richest young people in the world were actually helped, or they were able to harness their ideas when they were in the university. If you think about Mark Zuckerberg, and he came here a few years ago, one of the richest people in the world, at 23, he was already establishing Facebook. All of us are competing. I usually challenge the young people that instead of using Facebook, Twitter, and social media to engage in hatred, to engage in so unnecessary wars and so forth, just think who came up with this idea and how much money is this person making, and what can I do with my idea to use this platform to either market my idea or create something that can compete or is similar to what has been done and become that one richest person in the world. There is an opportunity for us to do so. And to do so, Your Excellency, in my earlier years as a teacher in the university, one of the subjects I really liked is intellectual property. Countries that have actually been able to grow have been proper protectors of intellectual property. Most of this research, if it's not patented, if it's not given trademark, if it's not copyrighted, if it is, we don't give geographical indications, may not have the potential to really attract venture capitalists. And so the best thing we must be able to do, because it's a whole government approach, is to make sure that our intellectual property regime is properly protecting ideas. 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I was privileged to, again, through the Innovation Agency, to oversee a process or launch a process that is towards finally having a national policy on intellectual property. And once we have that policy, we'll be able to then convince many investors in the world to come and buy the ideas that our people are having. The last thing, Your Excellency, is that as a teacher again in the university in the past, I think it's an embarrassment that our universities are struggling to raise money. In fact, I had some of the suggestions being given to universities like Egerton, Nairobi University, Moi University, and others that they should do something to make money. Most of them are only focusing on they should lease their land to do farming. Your Excellency, universities all over the world is the center for innovation, and the relationship between the university and industry is able to make many universities in the world raise such amount of money that they do not need any funding from the government. Your Excellency, if we properly, and I am glad that the Innovation Agency has said that we are graduating our professors afresh, so that Your Excellency, and with all due respect, because they taught all of us, with all due respect, we need to reorient our minds towards making sure that the university becomes what it ought to be. Instead of theory, they go to research, to go to development, and we put in place the funding, and they can attract private funding to make sure that they raise enough money to run their programs. It should be, this is actually, I was expecting my colleague for education, but he was involved in another assignment. But some of the discussions we've had with him is that this is the area that really we need to invest in. And being biased on matter sports, innovation is not just for agriculture, for medical, for all these other areas. Sports is a greater potential for us to also use modern technology and innovation to make sure that we grow our sports sector. Your Excellency, today you are here, and when you are around, you are the one to pronounce our national policy on this very important sector. But allow me to thank and congratulate the PS, Ismail Made, for leading the department. Your Excellency, to thank the DG of the Sports Fund, the CEO of the Sports Fund, for supporting this initiative. This is, most of our agencies in the department are depending on the Sports Fund, thanks to your directive. And to thank also the CEO of the agency, to thank Professor Ogada, an intellectual property expert on his own right, who is the chair of the Innovation Agency, and to thank all the stakeholders and Parliament, led by Chair Madam Alice Nganga, and to thank all the CEOs from the ministry and the innovators from across the continent. Thank you very much for all of you who decided to come for this exhibition and this Innovation Week, and we thank you for coming to Kenya, and we believe as a country that for a stronger Kenya, there must be a strong Africa. Your Excellency, with those many remarks, it is now my greatest honor and pleasure to request all of us to be upstanding so that we can give the opportunity to His Excellency the President to address this auspicious gathering. Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Minister. Please, let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Jambo. This is my third time to come to Kenya Innovation Week. When I came into office in 2022, I remember we attended a session at Sarit Center. And I have participated, and I have been a keen follower of innovation in Kenya, because I find in innovation and the whole space around what can be achieved and what can be done a very important space for the most pressing, solving the most pressing problem that we have in our nation, that is of unemployment. That's why I am privileged to warmly welcome all of you, especially those of us who come from outside Kenya, visionaries, innovators, designers, and all participants who are the architects of our future, to the 4th Kenya Innovation Week, Africa edition, here in Nairobi. Today, we affirm Kenya's commitment to becoming a global innovation hub by emphasizing that innovation lies in the heart, or at the heart, of our aspiration for progress, and is critical to creating abundant opportunities, especially for our young people. This year's Kenya Innovation Week has drawn delegates from 30 different countries, a testament to the broad appeal and impact of our past editions. Throughout this week, you will participate in different fora. 25 summits, I am told, will be ongoing workshops and boot camps, where dynamic interactions, collaborations, and exchanges will interrogate old ideas and also refine new ones. These ideas have the potential to evolve into startups, scale into major firms, generate value, create jobs, and build wealth. Let us therefore pay close attention to the more than 150 exhibitors and startups as they showcase groundbreaking innovations and endeavor to attract local and global investors. I have gone through many booths in this. I actually took almost an hour trying to see the new ideas, the new innovative interventions on different aspects in health, in agriculture, in matters environment, in matters technology, and they are amazing, to say the least. They are quite amazing. We are gathered here under a theme which summons us to reimagine Africa's future through Kenya's Innovation Spark, and to harness the power of innovation in tackling pressing challenges and unlocking Africa's tremendous potential. This gathering therefore celebrates bold imagination, courage in exploring new paths to solving problems, and disruptive approaches to creating or increasing value for all aspects of what we develop. It is also a catalyst for transformative ideas, a platform for strategic partnerships, and an incubator of groundbreaking solutions that seek to transform Africa's socioeconomic challenges into opportunities for inclusive growth in different countries in our continent, starting here in Kenya. I commend the Ministry for Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, the Kenya National Innovation Agency, and their partners for organizing this exceptional event year after year. Their consistency and determination have established Kenya Innovation Week as a globally recognized platform for collaboration and ambition in just 4 years. It has also effectively showcased Kenya's innovation ecosystem as a critical driver of the Africa Union's Agenda 2063, proving that innovation is the vehicle to overcome challenges and achieve inclusive prosperity on a Pan-African scale. Every day, we must confront the stark fact that unemployment remains a pressing issue in Kenya and in many African countries. The shape of the crisis is undeniably here, with between 500,000 and 800,000 young people entering the job market every year. Creating sustainable enterprises which can generate quality jobs is therefore a very critical imperative. Innovation can no longer be a discretionary consideration. Rather, it is now an indispensable component of efforts to promote inclusive growth and uplift the well-being of the majority of our citizens. It is through initiatives like the Silicon Savannah and Kenya Innovation Week that we refocus our dedication to leverage technology and innovation to create opportunities, bridge the yawning gap of economic inequality, and drive our nations to prosperity. The theme of this forum resonates strongly with the radical vision of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area as a transformative framework aimed at increasing Africa's incomes by $450 billion by 2035 and boosting inter-Africa trade by over 81%. Through active promotion of collaborations and the facilitation of idea exchange, Kenya is making a significant contribution to Africa's economic transformation. Over the past year, Kenya has made remarkable progress in implementing the 10-year Innovation Master Plan, as was presented to us by Mr. Omwanza there. Initiatives like the Research to Commercialization Accelerator have supported 18 enterprises and raised over 100 million Kenya shillings. Likewise, the Kenya Network of Entrepreneurial Institutions has empowered university leaders to drive entrepreneurial transformation. These are remarkable milestones which highlight the strength of our innovation ecosystem in delivering tangible results. Our commitment to collaboration at the Pan-African and international level is also evident in such initiatives as the Kenya-India Innovation Nexus and the Africa Innovation Agencies Network. These are partnerships dedicated to unlocking markets and ensuring that appropriate and transformative African solutions are deployed to address African challenges and provide global solutions. Accordingly, Kenya is proud of its leading role in positively defining the continent's future. At the same time, Kenya is also emerging as a global leader in green economy. Take the example of Timbuktu Green Tech Hub, which aims to mobilize $1 billion for 10,000 African startups, exemplifying our focus on sustainable development. It is through investments like this that we shall manage to create jobs, advance climate solutions, and position Kenya as a hub for green innovation. I firmly associate myself with the proposition that a vibrant innovation ecosystem depends on our capacity to identify and develop strong tech talent and innovative skills, support university-led research, and anchor robust linkages between industry and education institutions. For this reason, we have committed to expand the provision of entrepreneurial training, enhance support for university spin-offs, and strengthen institutional frameworks like the Startup Bill and the National Intellectual Property Policy. I'm very happy that the Minister has spoken to both issues, and it is very interesting that this space is growing rapidly. Last year, we had the Commonwealth Week that joined us. This year, we have expanding it to different African countries. And I want to confirm that my commitment to this endeavor, from the first time I attended the Innovation Week in 2022, immediately I took over office, I can see with clarity where this is going. And I want to confirm that the government of Kenya will continuously support innovation. When I came into office, the agency had a budget of 18 million. In our second year, I think we moved the budget to 120 million. This year, government has supported the agency with 200 million. Because of the centrality and the importance of innovation and the opportunities it can create and the leverage it can bring into startup resources and venture capital, that Kenya is now a leading destination for global venture capital. It is important that we harness the opportunity in this space as part of our plan of making sure that we create adequate, high-quality jobs for the young people of our nation. And therefore, because of the cross-cutting nature of innovation across different fields, in agriculture, in technology, in health, and the necessity to harness university education, TVET colleges, and all the education sectors into assisting and providing momentum for us to innovate, scale up the ideas that come, making sure that we commercialize either research from our university institutions or commercialize ideas from our innovators and take them to the next level. It becomes necessary that this agency moves to a central place where we can harness all these opportunities and assist in creating the momentum for job creation. I therefore instruct that the Kenya Innovation Agency moves to the Office of the President. And secondly, because I have also seen how this can also assist us in dealing with the challenge of unemployment, because it is easy for us to glorify unemployment. It is easy for leaders to stand on podia and talk about our unemployment numbers. But it takes concrete decisions and policy frameworks to create jobs. It is the reason why we have taken deliberate, intentional decisions on how we are going to create jobs, whether it is in our housing plan, whether it is in our digital jobs plan, whether it is in our export labor plan, whether it is in our special economic zone and county integration and industrial parks plan in manufacturing, and now in this space of innovation and startups and research. We will expand opportunities in this space. It therefore becomes necessary for us to do an additional two very important things: to provide a sustainable budget for this institution. And I'm happy we have Chair Alice Nganga. Please, going into the future, we must have a clear, determined budget. I'm going to be proposing to Parliament 500 million for Kenya Innovation Agency and R1 billion for startup fund, so that we can be able to provide the resources to de-risk some of the venture capital that is coming into Kenya. And we can then be able to move more, because at the moment, we are unable to move as many ideas into commercialization because of the limited resources that are available in that space. I know we are using the competition around the presidential challenge to support startups, but I think we should be able to move more ideas into practical, because they offer practical solutions to some of the challenges that we have, whether it is in matters health, whether it is in matters agriculture, or in matters security. We should be able to move more of those ideas. And the wealth of knowledge, creativity, and innovation in the young people of Kenya is demonstrable. If you go out here and you see what they are doing from TVETs, from universities, from different other institutions, it is clear that we have a wealth of talent. And because the future is going to be tech, and the future is going to be urban, and the future is going to be technology-led, it is an appropriate place for us to invest now. I've just got a report that 3 Kenyan university students from Masinde Muliro, who have participated and won awards in the Intercontinental High Technology Innovation Championships at St. Petersburg in Russia. And the awards they won are global awards, demonstrating that we have what it takes. I must commend Masinde Muliro for this achievement. Congratulations. And I'm told they won awards in the medical digital transfer technology field, an innovation in engineering technology, and one in network systems, in network and systems administration. This is just a glimpse of the wealth and the pool of creativity and innovation that is available coming from our university. And therefore, it becomes necessary that we nurture and we build an ecosystem that supports this. And it is the reason why I have been following this innovation space very keenly from 2022. And I want to promise Omwanza here asked us to raise up our hands, those who will support him. I am one of them, Mr. Omwanza. So, as I said, for this reason, we have committed to expand the provision of entrepreneurial training, enhance support for university spin-offs, and we are also fostering a knowledge-driven economy through initiatives like the Cloud First policy and Concert Technopolis to ensure Kenya remains globally competitive. On Monday, between France, the University of Nairobi, and Concert Technopolis, we again launched a 35 million euro program that is going to establish a science park at the University of Nairobi. Again, to tap into space that will create more innovation, provide more opportunities for young people to participate in contributing their ideas into solving real and present challenges that we face, as we also grow opportunities for jobs and for startups and for business. And as we all know, once upon a time, M-Pesa was an idea. Today, it is the largest mobile transfer ecosystem in our continent and maybe globally. So there are many more that are incubating in our universities, and we need to provide pathways for those ideas to become reality and to help us solve our problems as we create opportunities for our young people. Let me also confirm that the Presidential Innovation Challenge signifies the strength of our commitment to empower young innovators. Last year, for example, 30 awardees created more than 300 jobs in 8 months. Tuwapige makofi jameni. When I met them, they looked like very simple people, but they are amazing in what they can achieve. Building on that promising achievement, this year's challenge has been enhanced to include categories of youth, startups, students, and researchers, while its response fund has been doubled to adequately cover increased requirement for mentorship and for funding. Through these decisive measures, we are working hard to steadily improve our rankings in the Global Innovation Index. As we do so, I call on all stakeholders, those in government, private sector, higher education, and development partners, to remain steadfast in collaboration and intensify efforts to promote innovation. Together, we can build an innovation ecosystem that positions Kenya as a leading job creation destination, investment attraction, and sustainable growth. By leveraging innovation, Kenya can contribute significantly to Africa's development. This is precisely what the Kenya Innovation Week is intended to achieve, in addition to being a forum to showcase achievement and ambition. It is also a platform for us to forge collaborations that will accelerate the conversion of ideas into value. Let us commit together to reimagine Africa's future and build a legacy of innovation, inclusion, and opportunity. I want to wish you a great week ahead as you participate in the different workshops and summits and boot camps, and take this opportunity to declare the Kenya Innovation Week officially opened. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless our country and continent. Asanteni sana.
Another round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency. If I may request that you remain on stage, as we'll have 3 photos to take. And allow me, let's take our seats, please, briefly, as I now call on the CS. Let's have the Governor also join His Excellency, the Chair Kenya, CEO Kenya, Honorable Alice, and PS Ismail to kindly come on stage. You will remain constant as we take the other 2 photos. Let me also invite the board members kindly to also progress to stage so that they can take a photo. Board members, Kenya board members. The next photo is going to be the management. So if we can have the management to also be proceeding to the front as we finish this, we'll have the board members sit, but management kindly approach so that you will join. Let the board members, you can take your seats except the chair, the CEO can remain. Management. And the last photo is going to be strategic partners. And allow me, because I know all of us are in one way or the other partners, allow me to just mention the partners that would like to be approaching the stage now. We'll have a representative from Sports Fund, Huawei, Nail Council, IDRC, and FCDO. A representative from Sports Fund, Huawei, Nail Council, IDRC, and FCDO. We may exit and have now the strategic partners to join on stage. I'll repeat: Sports Fund, Huawei, Nail Council, IDRC, and FCDO. That will be our last photo, and we will finish with our national prayer, which is the national anthem. So I'll request that the rest of us kindly take back our positions. We'll leave His Excellency on stage for the final prayer, which is the national anthem. Let us all be upstanding, and as a sign of our patriotism, we are encouraged to sing along the Kenyan national anthem. And that brings us to the end of this session. I'll request that we all maintain our position as we allow His Excellency to exit at his pleasure.
This